What's going on YouTube? This is Acid Roots. So I'm going to review a 2007 mixtape by Boyz in the Hood. Based this particular product is called Real Nigga Radio. Welcome to my hood, and it came out in the winter of 2000. This particular mixtape came out in the winter. This particular mixtape came out in the winter of 2007. So within the fairest amongst the years, as far as these pitches, I'm paying attention like the phrase amongst it. So the particular product amongst these aspects is Boyz in the Hood kind of is more or less kind of seen in certain territories as like a one-hit wonder as far as these pitches can happen. Now, it's not actually within this phrase. I fucked with them for throughout the 2000s and further pitch like that was the phrase as far as is projected, kind of saying that just the backlash and the particular perceived type altitude that they kind of have is pitched like that. The main notoriety of the song that they're mostly known for is just Them Boys, which back in those particular days that had Puff Daddy on like his ad-lib type phrase when he was more red hot pitched like that, coming off the success of like particular songs like Shake Your Tail Feather and some of those type ones with like Mario Winans and pitch like that, some of those type phrases. So it's kind of him amongst like his making the band type days, but this is some of those type pitches. Bad Boy South was a particular hit label that kind of happened. Particularly Puff Daddy had found Block from Block Entertainment as far as his first album, which had this particular band and group pitch like that, which was Boyz in the Hood, which was some good nice phrase. Originally had Jeezy in there, and then it also had Young Jock and Gorilla Zoe, some of the pitches. Good booming type label in like the mid 2000s pitch like that. May not be as round as full bound nowadays. I don't know what happened, particularly to Block himself pitch like that. Some of the phrase he it's probably there into like the mid 2010s pitch like that, but just some phrase for us saying some classic type appeal. This is some banner type mixtape here. It's going to get a 10 out of 10 pitch like that. Now within the phrase for us saying there are 24 songs on this particular mixtape. Within these aspects, I'm going to talk about at least 6 of these out of the 24. So within the pitch for us saying the real aspect behind it is it's not actually 24 songs in here. There are 12 songs off here. 6 are new and 6 are particular which that are repeat type songs. There's 2 songs that were primers to Gorilla Zoe's album that was going to come out way later in 2007. Which was Hood Nigga, and then also Take Your Shoes Off, which is good excellent pitches for this Friday's going to have them just getting these 2 particular songs, kind of like an introduction. Now, I'm not as full bunch sure as to when particularly Gorilla Zoe grafted to Boyz in the Hood. This is some early type phrase. This is back still within the particular type fair before Boyz in the Hood had gotten close to really dropping like the single off of their second album, Back Up in the Chevy, as far as those first albums. So it's within the pitch for us saying with the product. I don't know specifically when Boyz in the Hood found Gorilla Zoe, but I want to say more or less it didn't seem like it was it was somewhere probably in like the second half or so of 2006. Sounds like pitch like that within the phrase like back in those particular days, it's probably a little bit more common to question whether or not there were more Boyz in the Hood type mixtapes. I was going to review this one way back in like the summer of 2024, but I reviewed a different one because I thought that particular mixtape was this particular one, which was the American Gangsta mixtape. So some of those type phrases that had some gems on there too. Definitely fuck with that one. Just a series of these Boyz in the Hood type mixtapes that came out in 2007, but I don't recall. I don't know his full bound when Jeezy left Boyz in the Hood. I think he was at least there into like the fall or so 2005, but he quickly separated and went solo and put out like Thug Motivation 101. But he did have some affiliation with the Boyz in the Hood folk. He did in minor touch senses, but it didn't seem like he did too much. The unfortunate type phrase is he didn't seemingly do too much past this that one shot kind of Boyz in the Hood from 2005 type album. It's pitched like that as far as saying. So they did have other product. This is one of those type ones. For the most part, nowadays within these passions, the information about Boyz in the Hood, the group, as far as this first album, is kind of becoming less and less within these pitches as far as saying. Obviously, you have the hit album Boyz in the Hood from 2005, which has Dem Boys and Felonies, the 2 singles off that album, pitched like that. But the phrase as far as saying, considering that Felonies didn't chart whatsoever, and it was that one was kind of more abrasive within the pitch of probably what would have the likelihood of getting on the radio pitch like that. It was just the phrase for us saying some of those type ones pitched like that particularly within those aspects. That's kind of the mainstay type phrase. Now, I think to certain degrees, folks might have paid attention in certain type senses to Back Up in the Chevy, particularly some of those hit type songs, but really that didn't have as many full spread type successful singles either. Everybody Know Me did decently on the charts. But nowadays, particularly on Wikipedia, it doesn't even list the singles that came from back up in the Chevy as far as this first album. I'm going to look up on that article. Yeah, there were 3 singles out that album. Within those phrase, they at least attempted it, but seemingly they didn't do that terrifically. I want to say at least Everybody Know Me had degrees like charting type of appeal. It was a decent type of attempt, but it just didn't catch on as full-bound wells like Dem Boys. Table Dance was a good hit song with T-Pain, pitch like that, but just didn't have as much capital to this. The Real Action Slide, I do recommend that. Pretty full bounce, good, nice pitch, definite staple. And then Paper was a hit type one that had Rick Ross on there with like early type bursts, like his particular Trillo type days. The pitch. That particular album was just panned left and right, so that's unfortunate within those pitches. But yeah, just to say this, these are some of these type phrases of what Boyz n the Hood was up to, kind of in between like their only 2 albums that they dropped, pitch like that. So some good, nice phrase. This is a Gorillaz era, good pitch like that. It's a hit type appeal. It's like an introductory pitch like that. Now he has some pretty good aspects just for folks that, I mean, even within these phrases, Gorillaz has kind of become an afterthought in a lot of these pitches. I think last I checked, he dropped mixtapes up to at least 2012, 2013, pitch like that. He was there in like the very early 2010s, but he kind of hasn't been a part of the phrase since at least 2014 or so. So it's a pitch for us saying he did get into wrestling. Last I checked, some of those type pitches, but it just was kind of commonplace that things just kind of got along pitches like that. It's just kind of fair. The unfortunate thing about it was his 3rd album, King Kong, didn't do that super terrifically. I mean, it had some good buzz singles, definitely pretty good EDM and trap type combination, but didn't have the chart appeal like his 2007 and 2009 albums. So pitch for us. But this good products for us. This pitch that initial type products did good. 2000 stuff stable here. Easily fuck with this product. Just some good, nice taste. As for the type products, I would recommend definitely check out the Boyz n the Hood type reviews playlist on this channel. It's just within pitch for folks who at least realize that, yeah, Dem Boys hit type song pitch like that, just some banner type, and just kind of get towards. There are further type hits by this group. There are some new songs on here within pitches, not just strictly mixtape freestyles pitch like this. There's at least 6 of these, and I recommend all 6 with 10 out of 10 within pitch like that, even if they don't have the snap. And I don't feel like it was this full-bound kind of Puff Daddy within the full-bound typeness that kind of helped bolster like this group within the commercial type appeal, but it was the factoid that it seemingly this particular aspect didn't have as much roteness within the factor as far as saying within the product. This was kind of the content. I think they probably had like some good, it does have like 2000s trap on here, which is good, nice pitches. A couple of these like G'd Up and particular Caper and What's Happening. G'd Up, Caper, and What's Happening within sense of pitches are kind of products for us saying that some of these type ones are just vintage, like leftover kind of off-breeds like Boyz n the Hood from 2005. Didn't quite get to like the full-bound kind of more 2010s trap, but like back up in the Chevy, but just some pitches like some of those type phrases. But the aspects for us saying this is kind of strictly more kind of grizzledness in those pitches, which is not a problem. I just look after it. It has traces of like some hood dolls on here, pitch like that, some type divas with them, pitch like that, just snow bunnies, hood dolls, particularly just like not to more or less to say within range of floozy without being negative within those sorts of pitches, but it's the product you could say chicken head just not being a diss, you know, within the products for hoochie type variety pitch like that, but floozy type variety pitch like that, but it's this variety as far as saying within the aspects, not listening to this particular band within pitch that indicates that, oh, this particular woman, particular said starlet is loose, a pitch like that. Probably some juggalettes in there also on top of that, good nice pitch within those phrases. But this is pitch for us saying just good nice hood dolls, good pitch like that within the products kind of amongst it, but so even though, like, within the particular fair, I caught some of the particular fairs amongst the sound kind of saying that it's like, fuck the hose, pitch like that, just kind of get towards the product, get the money first, and it's the pitch like that, but it's the phrase for us saying just definitely the come-through type factor, just paying pitch like the price, just on top of that, keeping, like, the ratio. It just more has the product of keeping like your dog sated as well. So it's kind of pitch, not just to say, oh, I'm gonna blow off, you know, these particular 2 or 3 of my pals pitch like that to just go pick up like Diva Mist, like you know, Oreos or something like that. Some stuff pitch. It's not as if to say like you couldn't do both. But then some stuff pitch just kind of varies for us, and just kind of having that atmosphere of having like a tighter circle of some stuff aspects as far as saying fuck with your dogs, but also don't leave, you know, Diva Mess out in the yard as far as those pitches can have, or out in the cold within those pitches, obviously within those varieties within those pitches. So just kind of that variety within those pitches, and then this, then just on top of that, kind of having like the edge type factor, just kind of treating that, treating things within the aspect probably how easy, particularly treating things within the aspect probably how easy or folks like that particularly would back in those particular days when it comes to like Damie type products, but just not quite as probably probably like 2 or 3 notches more actual concern as far as this pitch game. Easy was a little bit more freebase with just like rampant kind of just Tootsie Roll and Get Lost pitch like that. It's not to say full bound like every single time, but just to pitch some of those stuff right. So it's just to pitch, just having like the concern aspects on there on top of it, but something to pitch to just to keep them with your dogs in mind pitch like that. But hit that phrase for us. And so 6 songs I'm going to talk about off here pitch like that, just to say there's some other type ones in these pitches that are just like, yeah, like I was saying, Hood Nigga and Take Your Shoes Off to the Gorilla album that's going to come out several months later. There's some ones on here like Stay Fly, which is the Jim Jones as We Fly High. There's Projects from Project Past 2006 out, good nice pitches. Make It Rain from Fat Joe's a good nice one. And then Run Up in the Bank, which is the particular Lil Scrappy's Money in the Bank pitch like that. So some of those type ones is good nice pitches, getting Boys in the Hood doing that particular phrase, is classic 2000s type fare. 6 songs I'm going to talk about off here is What's Happening, Caper, R&R song, Real Nigga Radio song, Fuck You, which is not really a song, just kind of a skit type song that has T.I. on there, so it's good nice pitches, getting particular tip fucking with Boys in the Hood pitch like that amongst those phrases. G'd Up, and then Born and Raised. So to talk about so within pitches like that, What's Happening is a real hit type one within these pitches, like a syruped and grim kind of dat piff grease to get towards your good pitch like that. Is Pick Up Cheese, it's definitely some of those simple type phrases. This then the snaring type factor of the song is this usual type pitches in like a 2000 type format, so it's kind of conduit type fare, getting from like 2005's kind of Boys in the Hood, just that more kind of hit songs by Boys in the Hood from 2005 like Look and particular other type ones, Felonies, Dem Boys, some stuff ones like that, Gangstas, some stuff ones within those pitches. Bitches in Business that had a little bit more vanilla type snapback in those particular type days, Slizzard and some of those type ones like that. Or Still Slizzard, some of those type ones. And Trap Niggas, some of those type ones like that. But the pitch as far as saying it's just starting to get towards some of that Dat Piff type grease as that started to flesh out a lot more pitch like that. Dat Piff was really starting to flourish around this particular time, getting towards more of the aspects like the aspect like getting more towards like the aspect of like the snaring type of Taco Bell and corner store type runs in pitch like Grills though from Welcome to the Zoo and pitch like that. So that one's a good nice price, but yeah, Cheese Ups, Pick Ups, definitely pitches like that. Parkside after like a galley run system pitch to kind of the variety as far as saying some of stuff aspect. Whether it is a rendezvous with your pals or just going for dolo with it, as far as the first guy, I'm just kind of within the pitch for us saying paying attention towards some of these stuff phrase for us like the aspect, just great sweets in your system, first like that, some of the stuff products are just figuring out. Got particular galley like an almond joy and some batteries pitch like that within those phrases, kind of product to this next type most in the aspects for us just figuring out the phrase just like particular is traditional type fare within these sorts of pitches, bonus kind of Boys in the Hood type phrase, then pitch like this secret kind of tree within the tones, once like this good niceness kind of get towards here with some of these type products for us talking about once like the usual type phrase like the Boys in the Hood from 2005. So that was kind of the more popular type one within pitch like that, but it is the phrase for us saying that the other both albums are classics within those pitch. I think I gave both those at least pretty well. I reviewed Boys in the Hood from 2005 way back in 2020, so back in those particular days I didn't enjoy the album as full by much, even though I fucked with it every day. I fucked with it a lot more way before reviewing it within those pitches, but I just kind of in 2020 I was fucking with more underground hip-hop pitch like that caused me to lower the score, because I was just more used to folks like Cut Calhoun and Tech Nine and Deuce and Broken Side and folks like that within pitch for us. But the product definitely that is a classic, just to pitch some of those type ones, but just kind of some of that traditional type right, just further, more further type ones than pitch, just more accent varieties. Good nice pitches like that. Fuck You's a hitting to one. Yeah, like I was saying with them pitch like that, this has T.I. on here. So T.I. is on a skit on here, and he also helps out with this skit song. So it's just basically like a spoken word. It's not actually a song as far as this pitch can happen, but it just has particular T.I. and the Boys in the Hood talking about particular instances of fuck. Particular instances of fuck boys and pitch like that. Just kind of scrubs and particular just chumps and pitch like that as far as those price gaps is within pitch for us and just paying attention to like the aspect, but just actually pretty clever type song within pitch like that. Good nice phrase, kind of pay attention to like some of these type varieties. Good night, this like an in the trenches and sluggish kind of slosh and bullshit type song pitch like that. Gets some drink in your system first like that. It's kind of standard collect with pals, some chili Fritos definitely pass around pitch like that. Plenty of these type fairs is how all that been with your buddies. Pitch like that as far as those phrase gaps. So just within that usual lounge type sense, it kind of 3-6 Mafia has these sorts of ones on the regular pitch like that. To some of the affairs, it's breakups and ganja on the coffee table, sends that pitch amongst it, get to us a fray. sitting on drops on these next type modes. It's kind of probably just meme packing this figure and it's basically kind of shoot the shit type song within those sorts of pitches, kind of let the lounge kind of bleed out and some of the pitch within the aspects for it's just like the product of sluggish kind of next modes pitch like that. Real affable type one off here is G'd up within these sorts of pitches. This is like some club stepping within pitch like that, so it's kind of fray. This is kind of like an update within like the fray, like some social glam type fact. A good spiffy type thing about them boys from Boyz n the Hood from 2005 was that was kind of like a Liddy type one. Around that particular time when that song came out, it was just kind of a night gliss as far as like the fair, like the bright lights, like the headlights on with like the vehicles in terms of like the pitch. Just to say headlights hours for like vehicles for us, especially kind of getting towards the spiffiness. It's just like some tear up just with like a vanilla type sense. It was kind of ahead of things for that particular time when Southern hip hop was not as much of a full bound type thing within the type pitch of some of those stuff. Whereas you did have like Salt Shaker, some of those type ones, but in terms of like the gliss type factor, just like some rollout kind of within the pitch of like particular neighborhood type crawls and bullshit, kind of parking lot type pimping pitches like that. Some of those stuff, right? I was saying, just a good, nice product to just like party and bullshit type fair, just more in like the neighborhood and the scenery and the township pitch like that. So some of those type ones, but G-Dub is kind of like some club type appeal. It's kind of like a good, nice appeal for these aspects of this one. This might have been the very next product that Boyz n the Hood did. I was trying to look and see if they had other type ones. In the past, I reviewed some ones that were block ENT, kind of gangsta girls type mixtapes. That like there's one that was called Welcome to My Block that I reviewed way back in early 2024. There's been some pitches like that. Block has some ones that were kind of underneath the Block Entertainment name, so you can find some of those in the Boyz n the Hood reviews playlist. But this may actually be the next type one within those pitches. That's kind of the product of actual Boyz n the Hood as a group, because it's kind of fair. I don't recount them having dropped too much in 2006. They kind of were quiet after. I don't know if they dropped any further products in 2005. They might have, but the information is becoming increasingly fleeting. So it's pitch like that. But just being able to say, so G-Dub is nice up here. It's like a grand kind of club glaze to get, and mug music definitely within pitch like that. And by mug music, I mean mean mug type music pitch like that. Sounds like fair. It's kind of product. Just collect some daps. Definitely pals get nice pitches. Touch base, some of those stuff there is just pitch like that. Bust out the Beagles for pals. It's a good, nice pitch amongst it. Kind of get towards the main pack. This traditional kind of 2000s type club relish pitch like that. Just an early bird to like the sort of fairs that Rocco would really get towards, and folks like Rocco and Blood Raw, some stuff, folks that just would have like those mid and late 2000s kind of just club club sceneries and marinades as far as this first kind of section type pitch. Just kind of smoke a split, some stuff there is good pitch like that. Just kind of miss the product. It's also some definite kind of neighborhood demon time type collect pitch like that. It's good, nice products to just appreciate, like the scenery pitch like that. Smoke a split behind some buildings pitch like that. Grab some Taco Bell good pitches, but it's kind of product just dap with the pals just out in the social type price. It's further type make way within more hit type songs by Boyz n the Hood. It's some good socialize. Get a Bay tab ran up for like some Beezies on top of that. Sounds good, nice pitch amongst the good, nice fairs. R&R song is hitting up here. Real Nigga Radio song is what this particular song is called within those pitches with good accent products here. It's like a steadfast kind of hood doll kind of push to get towards here. Just grabbing like double stuffs, pitch like that, double stuff Oreos, some stuff pitch like that. Just consolidate definitely within these products for us. The fair is going to happen. Just kind of collect and just keeping like the aspect of it kind of airtight and kosher within pitch like that. As far as these hit type fairs going to happen. Just steam one, since the fairs get like a good grape sweet in the air as far as this pitch going. Definitely some good, nice price coming within those pitches. May flip on the news to some news watch pitch like that, or just the extra products that just kind of info dive and pitch like that. It's kind of some satins within those sorts of pitches. Just kind of particular miss, just having issues with like particularly what she wants to eat as far as this press guy and some stuff pitch. Just kind of the straightening some stuff aspects. Whether or not you could fix for a hood doll like some bruschettas and Texas toast pitch like that, some surprise other type pitches. Get like a plate of like some hit popcorn shrimp going pitch like that. Some of those extra type race within the aspects. It's not as if like gal is like incompetent within these pitches, not being able to do some of these stuff race, but it's kind of keeping the mode of it kind of within the pitch of this nearby type race. It is not the aspect of being too hoarse and stoic within pitches like that as far as the surprise kind of. But this is good pitch as far as the surprise kind of happen. Just definitely news on some of the pitches. Kind of just more homestead type fair, but it's kind of pitch. Just like the collected. It's not within the aspect like the usual type tariff or like active kind of being active. So it's the pitch for us and so it's the product just getting towards like some lounge typeness. More or less BZ type fit, just congeal pitch like that, just hit type race kind of the product, just nothing's pitch like that, but just the aspect, good nice pitches. What would you break now? Pitch like that, someone's hit tough phrase with the aspects for saying capers, the hitting type 1 as well as like a vintage 2000s kind of trap and bark to get towards here. Pitch like that is healthy, get dones and grip as far as these first kind of dismiss the pitch like some out in the fray. Colt 45s in your system, good pitch like that to stay ahead of the tide as far as these pitch going to happen. It's a good, nice pitch. So some of those type ones, kind of like similar type songs like Look, in particular some of the stuff, there's Trap Niggas in certain type sense, so just good advancement. But yeah, this particular album has more taste of like Back Up in the Chevy more so than Boys in the Hood from 2005. So it's kind of vanilla within pitch like that, but it just kind of has like that grease about it within some stuff pitch. So it has like a particular Crisco like sheen amongst it with some stuff pitch kind of the aspect, but it is kind of relative to like 2000 stuff there within pitch like that. So just kind of the aspect. This particular myths like the cricket hours, just the muscle type grip of some stuff wants to just kind of get towards the product like active kind of demon time type grip and pitch like this. So some of those type varieties, just kind of the product just move muscle moves pitch like that, hit type phrase amongst it, keeps some Colt 45s in your system easy within pitch like that. Get the shit done aptly within pitch like that as far as this variety is going to happen. I think the last type one I haven't talked about off here within pitch like that is Born and Raised as far as this pitch going to happen. So this hit type one's like a throwback to NWA 90s kind of boom bap type fair pitch like that. This block party type bump pitch like that. This what that is, Dame, since that pitch like that. What zoo did you come from since the pitch like that. So the fair as far as saying I definitely need to see all your jail scars within those sorts of pitches. You look like a damn zebra as far as this pitch is going to happen. I'm surprised that you don't as far as this pitch is going to happen. Pitch, how much makeup do you have to throw on to cover up your jail scars? Pitch like that sounds hit type rise with the pitch for us saying this traditional type one just takes it back to like house party type jump pitch like that. Feels like Martin Lawrence in particular. Some of this type folks should be a part of like not so much the full band type but this feels like it should be on one of those house party type movies from like 1991, 1992, and like Criss Cross should be amongst this song. So those type pitch just do it. Just in the backwards clothing type era within pitch like that. It's not so much full bound kind of to that kind of lightheartedness within pitch, but this is a surprise type one that's just not the common stead type fare for like Boys in the Hood pitch like that. But as far as saying some stuff pitch just takes it back to Salt and Peppa and Vanilla Ice and MC Hammer type days pitch like that. Some stuff ones. Some type pitches, other type phrase kind of within mild. In certain type sense, also Public Enemy, but just not quite as political pitch like that. But some of the ones is good. Cut Loose, definitely NWA type vibes. Feels like Eazy-E and MC Ren should be on this song at any moment. Then pitch like that. Good, nice pitches. So 10 out of 10 mixtapes as far as these varieties going to have this in the aspects for saying good hit type appeals. The aspects as far as getting towards social score, I'm going to go ahead and give. Now within pitch, I would give the give the social score amongst this product like a 10 out of 10 was the pitch. It has the capital typeness for the appeal, but it's just kind of collect. There's not really like a jump off the page type one. It's not like it does. I would definitely say G'd up, fuck you, since the one's caper, what's happening, since the one's definitely the aspect art. Basically, all the new type songs have the pitch like some jump off the page, but it's just the pitch as far as saying this the product. It's just not what's more to say within these pitches in terms of like the one that's going to be like the beeline for in terms of something that has like the appeal of pretty much what's seen as their only real true hit, which is Dem Boys as far as this pitch goes. So it doesn't have one of those type ones, but it's the pitch for us saying this good, nice grease for some of these type products and just gets them further re-up type products. There are some social type ones on here. G'd up, caper, what's happening, some of these type ones are kind of a miss, like the demon type phrase, gets some talk about in your system, good, nice pairs, pickups for standard phrase, gets some Cheez-Its, and just galley type runs with some type pitch. It's kind of the product. Double stuffs and vanilla wafers, good pitch like that. Some of the stuff raised just miss the product. Just Walmart type runs with them product. Now back in those days would have been open 24/7, but just the pitch. Some of the stuff raised just getting towards the product, just like the collect and just getting towards more. Appreciating like the Nightfall and pitch like this. Some of the stuff raised a little bit of club step on here with them pitches. Some boom bap type ones, pitch like that. Some club glaze just for mug type music. Some of these stuff pitches is hood doll type. Hood doll type embellished and nothing, so then pitch like that to some set aside, so then pitch some good products for us to pitch out. So within the aspect, good nice meme type song on top of that with TIPs for us to pitch out, so excellent type pitch. So within products, so 10 out of 10 mixtapes. So in terms of the future within these products, the unfortunate aspect is particularly Boys in the Hood has not been as full band around since 2007. So this is their most recent. 2007 is their seemingly most recent year within those sorts of pitches. They did not have within the aspects as far as saying, really didn't seem like they I want to say didn't really, I want want to say it didn't really seem like they did much of anything past 2008 as far as the Spurs go. I think their most recent and last project that they really did with any sort of recentry was back up in the Chevy from late 2007. So after that, they just kind of dissipated. Gorillaz, though, did continue to put out more albums, but this pitch after, beyond him was the kind of pitch that Big Gee, Big Duke, and Joe. Then the rest of the pitch, Big Gee, Big Duke, and Jody Breeze were not talked about for the most commonplace type part with them pitch like that. And it's not as if they didn't have any further appearances, but just the likelihood of hearing them too much commonly beyond this probably Gorillaz, though, is just not that extreme with them pitch like that. But hit that price for us in classic group, classic mixtape pitch like that, some banner, extra secret treats, sons to pitch to kind of pick up more nice price. All of these are worth it. This is a free type product. On top of that is some good home sit type ones. Now, once again, it doesn't have the vanilla snap of some of their bigger type hits like particularly Dem Boys, Felonies, and Lux, sunset ones like that, and Trap Niggas, sunset ones like that, but it is some good nice to be able to get some of these Hungry Grease type ones. That's probably, I feel like there is enough kind of, there is enough snap amongst some of these type ones to kind of have like some just vanilla kind of Dat Piff crazy and pitch like that for like Taco Bell runs and pitch like that, but it's just kind of fair as far as saying it just does it with a more grizzled type factor, but it is good nice pitch to kind of have like that. Close enough to above ground with some of those type pitches.